My name is Linda Clemens, and I'm the CEO of Sisterpreneur Incorporated. It's an organization designed to empower women entrepreneurs to build their business in the community and to give back by helping other women, and not just through entrepreneurship, but through philanthropy. But what my real deal is, I travel around the world as an expert in sales and nonverbal communication. I'm your friendly body language expert, and that's what I do. I help individuals and companies hear the inaudible and see the invisible by being observant in nonverbal communications. I believe my professional superpower is being 100% present in the presence of the individual that I'm speaking to. No matter what's going on around the world, the environment, or at that moment, there's something special when an individual to be made feel that they're the most important person on the earth at that moment, at that time. And in this day and age, it's so critical, especially with high tech. My focus is high touch. Being the oldest of four kids, so I was kind of like the co-parent to my mom, helping with my siblings and wanting to do the right thing and wanting to make my mother proud. I was very sensitive to how other people felt. So I would pick up on signs of dismissal, or when someone's ignored, or when someone is cut off. And so I began to develop that at an earlier age, how important it is just to be present. Just to simply be present. Some odd things that I do, I would get up early in the morning and go outside just to hear the sound of the birds, just to hear the sound of nature, just to be sensitive to what someone is saying. Because, for example, if you called me up and say, "Hey, Linda, how you doing?" And I respond to you, "Yeah, I'm doing good." Even though I said the words, you heard in the tone, I don't think she's quite right. So when you begin to master that, you're communicating on a higher level that can take you further in your personal life, social life, and your business life. One thing that I think I would change in corporate America is to use the power to temporarily suspend biases. Racial biases, personal biases, ethnic biases, cultural biases, just for a moment, so that our leaders can see people not just from the outside, but to see the internal gifts and talents that they possess. So I would put that power on everyone. The one lesson that I learned from a powerful woman outside of my mother and a powerful leader is that you don't have to lead in the front, you can lead from behind. And it took me a minute. I said, "What does it mean to lead in behind? Does the team have to see you?" She said, "When you lead from behind, you as the leader, you've done all your work, you've planted the seeds, and you are pushing the next generation out front. So when you're leading from behind, you're the foundation, you're the support." And I believe that's one of the best lessons. How I use my power to lead responsibly. One of the things that I do, I put myself in the position of the person who I'm dealing with. And I think it was Stephen Covey that said, "Begin with the end in mind." So this interaction, this conversation, this situation, how do I want it to end? How do I want it to end? And what is the transformation that takes place? So I use my power to be able to understand that other people have feelings. And some of the most greatest leaders exercise empathy, to be an empathic leader, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Being alive. So I got to tell you a quick story. It was June the 4th, 1996, at exactly 11 o'clock. I was a morning drive personality, so I just got off the air and I was scheduled for outpatient surgery. Minor thing, something very minor. Go in, come out, so they say. I believe it was Mother Teresa that said that the best way to make God laugh is to make plans. So what happened, what was supposed to be minor outpatient surgery, I ended up being in a coma for 7 days, and my heart stopped for 60 seconds. My radio audience, they had prayer vigils, and my family was told to prepare for the worst. So that experience, having breakfast or brunch or lunch with death, taught me how to live. So sometimes dying can teach you how to live. And that was one of the greatest experiences. I don't sweat the small stuff, if you will, the title of a great book. I don't do that because life's too short. The advice that I would give younger women is to map out their power transition, if you will, from the beginning when they receive the power to who they're handing the power off to, and to their future self, if you will. So, for example, if you're in your 30s, who is that future leader that you're going to pass that power to? And in your 30s and then your 40s, who is the final chapter and the final leader that you're going to pass that power to? And what will each phase learn? That's so critical. Quite often, when we get into a position of power, ego sometimes takes over because now you've earned that role. And then the personalities that you had when you were in the trenches, we tend to forget. And we lose ourselves. We lose that humanity. So I always like to map out. And when I was 16 and 18, I wanted to prepare. When am I leaving for my 20s and my 30s? What am I preparing for that next woman coming to phase? When I was in my 20s and my 30s, what am I preparing for that superwoman? Because we only have so many phases in life.